Hey, we are live. Look at that. We are live and we are back. Welcome to Website Wednesdays. It has been a hot minute. My name is Marissa. I am one half of the Meraki Collective, where we help coaches, consultants, and professional service providers get online with clarity and confidence with gorgeous and strategic websites. We took a little, a little break from these Website Wednesdays because we were focusing all of our attention serving our challenge members for our 5-day personal brand challenge, which, by the way, if you missed, is opening up again from right now, from today, in less than 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for that in the thread, or make sure we are connected here on Facebook or YouTube or on the blog, wherever you're watching it, because it is coming up. So Website Wednesdays is all about reviewing a website, AKA critiquing in a helpful and nice way, a website that one of my email subscribers has submitted so they know that this is happening. I'm not just policing people on the internet and telling them what they should change on their website. This is an agreement. So that's what we're doing on on Wednesdays for Website Wednesday. And every week I focus on one of three things: visuals, messaging, or user functionality. Sometimes the website owner, the business owner, tells me what they want to focus on. And in today's case, we're going to focus on messaging. And we're going to talk about how to create a powerful home page. In fact, we're going to review 5 simple ways, but powerful ways that you can up level and create a super strong, powerful homepage. And we have Melissa from melissajkessler.com. Thank you, Melissa, for submitting your website for review. Melissa is a holistic educator and essential oils advocate. So before I jump into sharing my screen and critiquing her website, I want to first share the 5 tips. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Melissa's homepage and apply these 5 tips. So we'll be using Melissa as an example, or Melissa's website as an example for this. All right. So 5 tips to create a powerful homepage. I have my screen, my notes on my other screen. So number 1, focus on your customer's frustration and transformation. I'm going to tell you how to do that while I review Melissa's website. Number 2, have a strong CTA or call to action. This sounds so simple, but it's so important and so oftentimes overlooked. We'll also review that. Number 3, offer a valuable, but here's the key word, simple freebie or opt-in. And number 3, provide a section on your homepage for your featured services. And number 5, infuse your beautiful personal brand throughout your homepage. And that is exactly what we are going to look at today. And like I said, take a look at Melissa's website and see, give her some tips, look at what the things that she's doing great on, and give her some, and see what she can improve. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my glasses because I have like 2 screens and a light in front of me. So I want to protect my eyeballs. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so we can get started for Website Wednesdays. Thank you so much for being here. So whether you are watching live or the replay, I appreciate you. You know that. I hope you know that. I will be here to remind you often. So here we go. Melissa, again, thank you so much for allowing us to review your website. First, I want to start off by sharing the gold stars, the pros that I like that Melissa is doing on her website. Number 1, I love that first thing. I see a picture of you, Melissa, and this is so awesome. Oftentimes people are kind of afraid or just like not in the mood, second guessing, whatever you want to call it, about sharing a photo of themselves. So I love that, boom, as soon as I land on your website, I know who you are, I know what you look like, I get a vibe, and I like this. Second, I love all of the white space. Like, it's not too busy. And this is something that's so powerful design-wise on a visual level. Melissa asked that I focus on the messaging, but for the first few tips and like highlights, I just look at everything overall. And then the third thing, you can't see it on here because I don't know why, because I think I refreshed it. No, because I already clicked out of it. So when you first land on this website, you get a pop-up and we are invited to take a quiz. And so you go through a quiz to see what kind of like holistic help you could benefit from. So that's the third thing that I love that you're doing on your website, Melissa. I'm not showing it here because I already X'd out of it. So now that let me go ahead and I forgot to turn on my mouse. There, now we have this little spot, this little yellow spot so that you can see where I'm pointing. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to highlight on your website. Now we're gonna go through those 5 steps and see how we can how I would up level this website, and just some tips for you, whether you are a holistic advocate, an essential oils expert, whatever you do, it doesn't matter whether you're selling houses, bracelets, or coaching services. All of these tips for a strong homepage, they are all applicable to anybody using their personal brand, especially on the internet, for their business. Okay. So number 1, focus on your customers' frustration and transformation. And the reason I say this, I was inspired to say this for this particular website, is because here we land on Melissa's website. And like I said, I like that there's a picture here, but then I don't really know how you help me, right? So, hey there, I'm Melissa, holistic wellness and lifestyle educator, and you kind of you introduce yourself a bit. This is the top of, this is the header here, okay, above the fold. So the first thing people see. So, but when I scroll down, then I get like a bigger paragraph and more writing about just more writing. But I don't want you to be afraid to call attention to your customers' frustration and transformation right here. Boom, right on the header, right on above the fold, because we only have seconds to capture our customers' attention when they land on our website. So if somebody lands and they don't immediately know what you do for them and how you help them, it's going to be very hard to get them to stay. Even though you have a nice like, hey there, and a picture of you, I still don't know how you help me. We should be able to say this to express to somebody how we can help them in their transformation as soon as they land on our website. So that's tip number 1, or tip number 1, way number 1 that you can up level your homepage. Number 2 is to have a strong call to action. So after you capture your customer's attention, you have to then tell them what to do, right? So like I said, Melissa had a really awesome pop-up. As soon as you land on her website, there's a quiz. So you're invited to take a quiz and see how her services can help you. The thing I will say for Melissa's quiz and her pop-up is that it was very long. It was a very long quiz. It was super in-depth and like really helpful. And I'm sure whatever results you give to people are extremely helpful. But I will say this, a quiz that has more than 10 questions, it's not likely that people are going to finish it. So if you have anything more than 10 questions and they're long questions and they have to like pick from it, I would highly recommend to review, reconsider, and edit that, because you want your call to action. In this case, the call to action was to take the quiz, right? So if you're using a quiz, if you're using a pop-up, if you're offering a freebie, whatever you're doing, whatever you want your viewer to do, keep it simple, okay? So whether that's like, hey, book a call with me, hey, take this quiz, whatever that is, number 1, make it clear. And then follow up to that is make sure that the thing you want them to do is an easy thing to do, okay? I hope that makes sense. Number 3, offer a valuable but simple freebie or opt-in. I think I just mixed tip 2 and tip 3 because tip number 2 was have a strong call to action, which is like book a call, take a quiz, do this thing. And then number 3 is offer a simple opt-in. So that kind of combines 2 and 3. So again, be aware that you don't overwhelm your new visitors by offering too much information. And like I said, or asking for too many details, because that it could be just harder for people to be able to take action. And that way, once you give them a quick and easy and simple thing to do, you can focus on building connection and trust with them, right? So let's see, number 4, the 4th way that you can up level and create a strong home page is by providing a section for your featured services. So if I scroll down here on Melissa's website, I get like, this is all great that I can read more information about what you do and why you do it. And then I scroll down and then you talk about, so this section here, my purpose here is to empower you to take action. This I would highly recommend for Melissa to have up here. Like even create this photo, make it bigger, and then have that copy up here or a variation of that copy. So that goes along with tip number 1, right? To not be afraid to say like right away what you do. to state what you do. But where I was getting at is I keep scrolling down, and then I come to your Instagram feed, which is great. And then that's the end of it. So my big suggestion would be to create a section in here after you have a strong header, maybe right after that or right after this section, and have 2 to 3 featured services. So I know that you work with essential oils and you help people take action with their mental health and mindset. So how do you do that? Are you doing that with like coaching? Is it a group coaching program? Do you have a separate program? So whatever that is, whatever those 2 to 3 services that you offer, have a section on your homepage. Again, this applies to any personal brand entrepreneur, not just somebody in the health and wellness space. Have a section right on your homepage where they can immediately go and where your visitor can go and say, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want more information on, because then I'm on the homepage. Now, since that's not here right away, I have to go and search up here. And Melissa does have a section that is a Let's Work Together section. And when I go to the Let's Work Together section, you have essential oils. And then here you have, I believe these are your different offers. So you have something for goal setting, emotional balance, and then a stress program and healthy habits. So this is great. Whatever you have here is great because you get to offer more information. But what I'm saying is take your top or main 2 to 3 of those of what you do programs and put them on your homepage in a separate section. Tip number 5 to infuse your personal, to up-level your homepage is to infuse your personal brand throughout your homepage. So this is a big statement, and there's so much that we can do with this. But basically, if you have a particular method that you use, or if you focus on a specific niche, don't be afraid to say so, right? And don't be afraid to put that on your homepage right away. So in this particular case, I noticed that Melissa describes herself as, I wrote it down, you talk about faith and purpose, and you said you're a Christian rebel. So, and then again, you quoted a scripture here. So if your niche is to work with Christian women, and in particular Christian rebels, that in itself is a very strong aspect to your personal brand that you can share. So don't be afraid to list that and infuse pieces of that in here on your homepage. So whether that's like making this scripture that you added here, making it bigger, maybe making that in pink, because now you can move this up to your header, and saying that, like saying these are the people that I serve, and this is how, you don't have to say like this is how I identify, but hey, I'm Melissa, and I'm fueled by faith, essential oils, and my boys. You mentioned that down here, but again, focus it around your client, how you can help and help them transform. Another way that you can infuse your personal brand throughout your homepage, which you kind of already do, Melissa, because I love that you have the black and white, super clean look going on. And then you have like highlights of like bright pink and then bright colors. This is really awesome. And it goes, and I can see just on your Instagram feed, like this aesthetically all matches. So I would love to see more of this here. Like this vibe is super strong, and I would love to see it displayed more on your homepage, even though it's more of like a visual thing that I'm speaking to. Messaging wise, you can also infuse that in your copy, right? Like I said, with your main header statement, and then even listing how the services and how you help people. And one more thing that I want to mention for Melissa's website about infusing your personal brand throughout your homepage, in your About Me section or About Me page, you mentioned that here, goal achievable, rebel, faith. So you are infusing a little bit more of that here. Now, don't be afraid to take some of this to your homepage, but the key is to relate it back to your customer and how you help them. How can the fact that you are like no nonsense rebel, like taking control of your own journey, how does that help them? go ahead and like find that, like, I guess like a full circle moment, right? So people know immediately as they land on your website how you help them. So those are the five tips that I wanted to share for Melissa and anybody else watching this that wants to take their homepage to another level. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to review the entire website because you have several pages here, but aside from the 5 tips for the homepage, I do have some more tips for Melissa, or if you are in the health and wellness space, or if you find similarities between what Melissa's doing and what you're doing, either in messaging or visuals, here are some more just like random tips that I wrote down. So I did notice, Melissa, that some of the links that you have, I think on the bottom of your header, or maybe when I clicked on your about page or on your work together page, some of the links were broken. So just as a tip for anybody that wants to have clients book, have people book on their website or sell anything on the website, make sure that all of your links actually take people to a place, right? And they're not broken. In fact, I think it may have been your Instagram link. So here I can see your feed, but I think it's one of these ones down here. So just go ahead and check that. Second thing, going back to the About Me page, I think it's wonderful that you have an About Me page. Messaging wise, you shared a lot that can help make that connection and relate and have your customer, your future client, potential client relate to you and connect with you. And I think that's wonderful. The same thing applies that I mentioned on your homepage about number 1, right? Tip number 1, focus on your customer's frustration and transformation. So your About Me page is wonderful. You share a lot of information. And then down here at the very bottom, you say, if you're ready to stop living in fear, worry, and self-doubt, and then you tell them what to do. So my recommendation would be to take this and put it all the way at the top of your About Me page, because even though it's an About Me page, you still want it to relate back to how you help your customer and the action that you want them to take. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. There we are. So I hope these tips were helpful for you, whether you are updating your website, refreshing your website, or whether you are in the process of creating your website, whether that's through a DIY approach, or whether you are working with a designer, or whether you're working with us to get your website done. And Melissa, again, thank you so much for allowing us to, for being willing to have me share your work and share your website and do this live critique. I appreciate you so much. And I'm excited to see what else you're going to create and share your stuff online and connect with amazing people. And again, whether you are watching live or you're watching the replay, we are opening up our Design Your Personal Brand Challenge in just a couple of weeks. In fact, I'll go ahead and give you the date. It starts November 9th, and it is a free 5-day challenge to design your personal brand. So you know how on Melissa's website, I talked about how you should infuse your personal brand into your website. If any of you were, if you were like, what does that even mean? What is my personal brand? What does it look like? What am I supposed to do? I don't even know what colors I want. If any of that came up for you, then this 5-day brand challenge is for you. So be sure to keep an eye out. Make sure to stay connected here in Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching, so you can sign up for that and join us there. Thank you so much for being here once again. And Melissa, again, thank you so much. I will see you next time for Website Wednesdays. Bye, everyone.